This really doesn't fit me well. But hopefully this works. And it will work. Otherwise, it would suck. Um, hey, how are you, family? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this live stream, rather. This is the live stream where I'm going to be sort of discussing a topic in which I wanted to discuss. However, I feel like, editing would take too long, and as much as I'm pressed with time, it's also a topic in which it's quite lengthy, And this is a Tell Me Rindo stream now. For those of you who are unfamiliar, rather, right? Tell Me Rindo is a sort of um segment that I do in this channel where I just normally discuss about a lot of things that are related to otaku topics, otaku discussions, and the like, and especially towards characters from the Hyakuno series or the manga 100 Kanajo or the 100 Girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. Looking at this imaginary chat, it is weird, but sorry for the cringe. Please don't mind it, but you gotta admit it's a bit cool in a way, or lonely. Yeah, lonely. So yeah, anyway, today in today's Tell Me Rindo, I'm going to be discussing about the topic on harems. Now, I did a Tell Me Rindo on the genre of harems, right? I discussed what the harem genre is and gave my own opinions about it. And this is essentially what I initially figured the Tell Me Rindo series would become. It's sort of this self podcast, a mini podcast where I just simply wanted to express my opinion on a particular subject, that of which it's just my complete thought about that on this current time. Opinions can change, my opinions can change, and over the years, I may have a different thought of what I thought about this particular topic back then. For instance, I said in my Tell Me Rindo about harems, and it was actually the first video that I made on harems, that it is the greatest genre in my opinion, and it's a genre that's really just really close to my heart, and I absolutely love it. And who knows, maybe in years time I might not like it, but that's wrong, because I absolutely still to this day love the genre, especially towards my favorite manga of all time, Haruka Kanajo, the Hundred Griffins, who really, 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 really love you. That series masterfully encapsulates the essence of a harem, and it's executed properly and greatly as well. Now, so for this stream, what I'm going to be discussing is a harem type of trope in which you have the trope where an individual, of course, male or can be female as well, Although, to be honest, I've not actually encountered yet a series in which a female lead is the case, but it is the case where this protagonist, a male protagonist, is sent into this the school, right, or institution, community, or area, land, whatever, in which it's only all full girls. For instance, you have Infinite Stratos. That's one. Shomin Sample. That one anime, I forgot the title of it, but it was an anime where the MC, the protagonist, was washed up on this deserted island in which all the inhabitants were girls, and they're all freakishly strong and all that, and it was a pretty fun anime to watch. Yeah, I had a good laugh with it. But that is precisely what I wanted to discuss today as well, and that is the why what's up with that? What's up with the trope of sending a a protagonist into an environment which is only all full of girls? Right now, in the surface, that sounds like it's a fever dream, really. Is that the correct term? Or it's that sort of thing where, yep, that's clearly not gonna happen, I guess. Some cases. I don't know what exactly. But, people would think, I guess, right? The people have different opinions on this particular people already have different opinions on the subject of harem. What's more, if that type of harem is specifically the one where it uses the trope, the said trope of having, guy and a girl in a school full of girls. It's crazy. It's insane, and it's also it's such a wonder to me as well. To sorry, to how they try to formulate a reasoning, right, or a reasoning as to what can we do to make sure that what can we do to find a possible reason to allow this protagonist to be able to stay in this institution or in this school. For instance, in Showman Sample, the reason for our protagonist moving or yeah, moving and entering into the environment full of girls, the school full of girls, is because it is for the purpose of educating them in to learn the ways of the common folk. And it just so happens that the candidate for that is a guy. Pretty suspicious to me, but what can we do about it? That's how it goes. And overall, I think Showman Sample is a pretty, at least in my opinion, in my most humble opinion, I think it is a pretty good show. It is one of the first animes out there that really got me hooked into harems and made me think. When I saw that idea, right? When I saw the idea of Showman Sample, Infinite Stratos as well, where guy goes into school full of girls, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I just thought that, man, that guy is lucky, you know. So there you go. It's not something that's some people would find it weird. Others would just say, let's just enjoy it for what it is. Let's see how it goes. That type of deal. I don't know. I guess the same goes for a lot of things as well. But the way I see it, right, is that the reasoning as well, or the motive for these characters, for these protagonists to go on with whatever they're doing in this environment of a girl. I've noticed that a lot of the times it's the type of protagonists who are oblivious to or complete airheads. For instance, Ichika is the most notorious example in all of the harem genre, even anime ever, where he is such an airhead. He doesn't know what's up. He doesn't know what's up. He doesn't see the moves that these girls are pushing towards him, and he just goes, "No, okay, yeah, head pats, smile, and all that." It pisses you off, but for some reason, it still makes you angry. But you can't do anything about it because you'll be swallowed up by the jealousy of being jealous of this guy, and just like, dude, you're wasting your potential. Wow, if you have these romantic interests lined up with you, but yet you're not doing anything. The one from Showman Sample, at least that was good. So at least that was good because the development between the characters, at least they had. No, I think I'm phrasing this wrong. Right, sorry. At least the protagonist is aware, right? He is aware that he is a man, he is a guy, and at some point he is going to develop feelings for. But due to the circumstances and the conditions, rather, of his stay and his arrival into the school, the condition where, the part of the reason why he was a male, was accepted as a candidate to teach these girls the ways of the common folk is because they presume he's gay. So he has to act gay in order to play it safe. And that's I don't know if I could call it genius or just, I don't know. I think it's genius. Yeah, it's pretty good way to hook it in. I'm sure I can think of many others as well, but not really so much in that boat. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. Now there is one manga that I absolutely love, and I regard it as my third favorite manga of all time. First favorite is, of course, Hyakano. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Go check it out. The second one is Please Go Home Akutsu-san. And the third one is actually a manga in which I haven't made a review on it yet because I haven't yet. Forgive me for that. But this is why I wanted to make this video. Now, I wanted to dedicate this video into discussing about Yankee JK Kuzuhana-san, a manga in which it is a harem where a boy transfers to an all girls school. Yes. And you know, so far with around over 100 chapters, I believe, right? It still is amazing, amazing, amazing manga that I absolutely love. It's got all the components of a it's got the right components of a harem, right? That just makes you feel like, this could be something. This could be something. Much similar to how I felt when I read Hyakuno. There is a lot of parts to it in play. Now, I think one of the best ways I can, try to convince you as well, fam, to get into this manga is by explaining the plot of it. Now, what's the plot again? Actually, I'm sorry, I remember, but now our main protagonist, Hodaka, he's just a normal guy. He's just a guy, and he just wants to. He dreams to become a tailor, right? He's really good at sewing and all that, handicrafts and the like, and he likes to make clothes. Basically, he is a fashion freak. Now, in high school, he attends this school called Monteshiro High, if I believe that's the um uh correct correct term of it, Monteshiro High. He transferred. Our protagonist transfers to this high school, Monteshiro, and this high school is notorious or famous for being this high school where there is a lot of delinquents, gals, the bad apples, so to speak, quote unquote. And yeah, that's something also right up my alley if you consider my whole entire love for the Yankee JK, the Japanese schoolgirl delinquent waifu trope. This fits right straight into my strike zone. The same why the reason also it's also the reason why I love Akutsu-san's Please Go Home Akutsu-san so much, as because of the Yankee character and how they play on it. And for this series in Yankee JK Kuzuhana, Hanako Kuzuhana, the main heroine, one of the main heroines rather, it's such a beauty of a character. I wanna This is why I wanna explain it through a live stream explaining it as well. Um so yeah, imaginary chat, buckle up. I'm so lonely. Now, anyway, protagonist goes to school. School is full of girls who are bad apples, quote unquote. Why does he do that? Well, it's because that school, that high school, is the only place in which it has a degree, a course, a program which is, fashion. Now, if I remember correctly, in that high school there is the fashion class, there's the business class, and there is the cooking class. Now, being the only boy, right? The reason why he's the only boy is because if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe so, that it was mentioned that no one wants to attend that high school because it's full of scary people, scary girls especially. I'll get to that later. It is scary if you think about it, if you put yourselves in the shoes of of the protagonist. And yeah, so the school is scary, and it just before it was not co-ed, but now it's co-ed. Hence why our main protagonist took the opportunity. If I remember correctly, I'm looking at it right now to double check in order to make sure that I am right. But I get you get the overall gist, right? Now it's a co-ed school with a 359 girl students and one guy, so 1:359 ratio, which is crazy to think about. I mean, looking back, Shomin Sample, Infinite Stratus, yeah, there's the trope. There it is. But our protagonist is not some, lucky skebe. Sorry, he is a lucky skebe. To be honest, yes, but he's not the type who's thinking, "Oh, I'm going to the school for the girls," woo! Or something like that. No, he just wants to attend the school because there's a fashion class and he wants to learn about fashion and he enjoys it, so he take it. Is that so wrong? Can a brother get a can a brother learn fashion from a fashion teacher, from fashion instructors? I mean, I myself would be excited, to double excited if I am able to attend a class, a lecture in which teaches me skills that I am passionate about, and while also being a school for the delinquent girls. That's another plus for me. Sorry. But yeah, you get the point. Is he really wants to pursue his fashion idea. Now, all the girls, there's a bit of problem with the whole situation, the whole feel. Now that a boy is coming into class, there's gonna be some changes. Like, where is our main protagonist gonna eat? Not eat, but rather go to the bathroom. Yeah, that's one problem. And there's also the whole idea where like everyone is really cautious about him. The girls' school, they're really used to operating things with the conscious of not knowing that there is a guy around, so they can do whatever girl stuff they want. But now that there's a guy in, they have to be wary as well. Hoduka, the main protagonist, in turn, should also be aware of the fact that this environment is full of girls. So there's gonna be a lot of moments where he has to be cautious and act cautious and the like. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because now the protagonist first meets our main heroine, who is Hanako Kuzuhana, who is known as the most she's the type of character where she's the most fearsome, right? Labeled, named as, titled as the fearsome, the most powerful delinquent in the class, and in school rather, and people are afraid of her, wary of her, the like. There's that. And he encounters with her, and the main protagonist finds out that the heroine isn't such a bad girl after all. She's a sweetheart. And believe me when I say that Hanako is such a maiden, and I love her so much, really. Top 3 of my waifu list? My god, I'm guessing so. But anyway, so yeah, there's that meeting with the heroine, who I think is gonna win. Wink wink, there's already a lot of traction on that already. Yep, this heroine is gonna win this war. Now, just to sum it up a bit, because I think I'm dragging this for too long, and I apologize for that. So Hodaka encounters a girl, in which this girl bullies him, well, not bullies him, but teases him, and what's the term when coerce him for money? Wait, like, she happened to get a picture of him when he accidentally, like, there was a lewd, there's a lucky skebe moment, essentially, and he got tricked into it, and so the girl is using that photo into blackmailing him or something. Yeah, that's the term, blackmailing, I suppose. And then this made our main protagonist really put up a wall and really be cautious about those around him, because this place is a scary, scary place. And yes, it's terrifying to see that. I mean, it's terrifying as well if you think about, if you replace the girls with boys. Yes, they could beat you to a pulp if you do something that they don't like. But girls, yes, they're boys, girls, whatever they do, something bad, whatever they do, whether if it's an act that makes you just tremble and just makes you really scary, then yeah, it is scary. But this is, of course, in this fictional setting, of course. Don't forget that this is a story. It's a manga. Going back, so yeah, the girls are scary, and our main protagonist is in the ropes until he gets saved by Hanako, and then so begins the journey of you know our main protagonist, who wants to just learn fashion, while at the same time also has to deal and has to not deal with, but rather in the process of learning and pursuing his love for fashion, he also has these encounters with different heroines, different girls of the school, and slowly but surely they will all come to accept him and really same time fall in love with him, which up to this moment of the manga, as far as I know, it's such a great um place where they're standing right now, because the harems grown quite a good amount, and I absolutely love it. Now, let's talk about the protagonist first, shall we? For how the Hodoka as a protagonist, I feel like, I like him because he is true to his goal, right? The goal in mind being that I wanted to learn more skills in fashion and someday take over father's shop, because his parents own a tailor shop, and if I remember correctly, he wants to also join the business, post or somewhere along that line, right? And what makes a harem protagonist as well likable or not, it's not only found in his character, but I believe one of the important aspects is how he interacts with the heroines of the story, that of which the Yankees. Actually, it's also full of gals and the like I said, quote unquote bad apples. But anyway, yeah. How our protagonist interacts with these characters, simply, not as purely dense, actually. Yeah, all slightly dense, on the same levels, um a almost same level as Ichika's density from Alice even Stratus. He is aware, though, yes, of his feelings and the like, or he's really unsure about that. But towards the girls, they're really pulling out all these moves to show that they really do love him, and he also picks up on that. Yes, but there's still a line, that line of uncertainty where should I really, uh, does she really, really love me? And then, like, you begin to ask that. But their relationship is just really great friends. That's the and as I think I can further explain this when I begin to describe the different heroines and the manga. So now you have um you have a Yankee, the quote Yankee, right? You have a girl who looks neat and tidy, but is actually really sly and keen and cunning, or something like that. You have also a girl in which she is really giving the of that gal vibes, and yeah, the gal vibes, really clingy to our main protagonist, really does emphasize a lot that she really does love the protagonist. There's also a the one-eyed um one-eyed heroine, bob hair, shortcut, um, bangs covering one eye. She's a gymnast and she's shy, but she also loves the protagonist. There's also one from the business class. By the way, the girls mentioned are all from the fashion class. There's also one from the business class who is the a leader of sorts, or yeah, I guess not leader, but like yeah, leader of sorts of the business class, or the top of the business class, I suppose. I don't know. Who also likes the protagonist because before he was afraid of guys. He didn't like guys, but after getting to know our protagonist, she figured out that it's all good. Not everyone is the same, and she also falls in love with her. There is the best friend um of that leader. Actually, I'll just call the leader the track field girl, because she was a what do you call this, an ex track and field member. So there's that. The best friend of her. And this character doesn't really have a good this character doesn't really love, yeah, this character doesn't love the protagonist, but rather she is in love, really loves the girl, um the track and field girl. Then there's also another character from the business class, which is the shark girl of this story. Shark girl, as in, like, sorry, shark girl. I should have said shark teeth. There we go. A waifu with shark teeth is top tier. Come on, you gotta admit it, right? I know some of you would agree, fam, especially if you've read rather, or familiar with Chainsaw Man, if I believe so. That fans of Shark Teeth Girl, yeah, I should make a video, a separate Tell Me Rindo. That is so gotta remind it on myself. So there's that. There's also the childhood friend, and this childhood friend is good at cooking because she is in the cooking class. And there is another character, um, another heroine which is associated with the Yankee, and she doesn't really not really in love per se, yeah, with the main protagonist, but she's just there to support um Kuzuhana, the Yankee heroine, right? And there's that. Then you also have the first years, right? The first years, and this is the sort of fresher, fresher edition, fresher pile to the harem. Sorry, no, fresher addition rather to the story, right? So you have one girl who is also a fashion freak, fashion nerd. Sorry, it's just way different place. So this girl is a fashion nerd as well, same as Sodaka, and she really admires him, and she recognizes him, and he recognizes her as rivals and the like. So there's a rivalry going on between them, but it's not too much, not that much, but like so far, yeah, so far there's no rivalry action between that first year and our main protagonist because they're really pursuing the romance on this, and yeah, of course um the first year girl is showing hints that she really does love the main protagonist. You also have the best friend of the first year fashion nerd, and you also have another first year who is quite the same as the sly girl that I told you, right? The sly girl um who tricked the main protagonist into falling for that blackmail trap and the like. So there's that. And yeah, she also she loves in love pulling moves as well on the main protagonist. So there's that. Right, so that covers about it for the characters, for the heroines. Now, going back to interactions, right? The way I see it, when there was this arc where there's an arc rather where it was the sports feast. Sorry, not the sports. The fashion show arc, right? Where the main protagonist asks the heroines to act as a model for his runway show, right? Beautiful arc. Sorry for the spoilers on that arc a bit. Sorry, but I won't spoil how it ends and how it goes. Really good. Is to read it. But from that, it really goes to really also expresses a lot of ideas on how you know our protagonist really does acknowledge that you know these girls are his friends, they're close companions, and that sorry, and that what can I say? That he's that the, that they have a good social circle going on. Um, when our protagonist interacts with these with with them, there's a level of professionalism, I suppose, wherein like I want you to be my please be my model. I want you to be my model, and I'll get the job done, while also being all friendly and casual about it as well. Kind of oxymoronic, professionally casual, but that sort of attitude, right? It's it's something that just makes me really glad and happy to see because there's really good progress, and I guess this is also partly why Shomin Sample worked so well for me. Is because the protagonist, for one, has awareness of the situation around him, and he interacts and encounters greatly with the other heroines. But in Shomin Sample, the heroines are not as much. There's only about three of them, if I remember correctly. Around yeah, three heroines in the quote unquote harem of his. But in Yankee JK Kuzuhana, it's about there's Kuzuhana, there About six, right? About six already. And yeah, that's a lot. Really a lot. But you know what? Not it's not because of his no, you know what? The density of the protagonist doesn't really, you know, piss me off as much as Ichika. Because Ichika from Infinite Status, right? That guy is like, yep, it's funny that he's oblivious to these things, but there comes a time, man, where gotta, he's do something. He did actually, yeah, at times I have to admit. In the anime, I've only watched the anime of it, both seasons. Watched the OVA's movie as well, everything about it. I like Infinite Stratos. In my early days of harem watching, harem scouting, and yeah, that level of character is just okay. Yeah, but if you compare it to Hodoka from this series, you're gonna be all right. So it's you know what? Put if you put yourselves in the shoes of the protagonist. Yes, you would encounter a lot of lucky skebe moments. Yes, you would be you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, and all that. But underneath it all, at the end of the day, really, you can see that there is a really um strong traction towards protagonist, the protagonist Hodaka and the heroine Kuzuhana or Hanako-chan really well. I mean, like they're gonna win. They're gonna win. Like in every, I swear, in every um possible, no, not every, but like in a lot of moments where it's supposed to be like, for instance, this it's gonna be focused towards this character or this heroine rather, who's gonna be a part of the whole arc. Yes, there are times when they individually show their own appeal, but you would also see Kuzuhana within these situations as like, can protagonist would be like, can Hanako join or something like that, and yeah, I like it. I like it very much, especially towards Hanako as a character. I feel like her development into the the quote unquote maiden of the story, uh, not maiden per like her romantic interest and her romantic development with the protagonist greatly escalates and it greatly improves so well as the series goes on and progresses. And it's something that I really love about Hanako, the protagonist, the main heroine. She is a Yankee. She's strong, but she's also very much aware of her feelings. And that's, unlike a certain someone, Akutsu-san and Oyama as well. I'm also getting on you, Oyama. These two, as much they really spend a lot of time together and they really have that thing going on where, just date, right? Just date. But with Hanako and Hodaka from Yankee JK Kuzuhana, right? Back to the show, back to the series. Going back to the series, these two have a good mutual relationship where it's like it's good as it is, but it would be even better if they were a couple. You know why? Because they both complement each other very well. That I think. I know. And the other girls, yes, they could have a chance, but let's be real. With what happened in that, I'm gonna say it, it's already ground locked in. I'm not gonna spoil on that area too much, but hey, there it is. And you may also ask yourselves, Rindo, please tell me, Rindo, why, if they, if there is already a surefire heroine who would win, why would you need other heroines to intervene? Well, that's a good question. Shuffle. The anime shuffle made me go all, this girl who's been with the protagonist. Not the I apologize if I spoiled a bit, but sorry. Um, the point is that you can never know what's coming. You never know what's coming, and who knows? Maybe the one of the other heroines would take a swing and win for it. But yeah, you know, yeah, it's it's something. it's really something um as a series. Yankee JK Kuzuhana puts a lot of that um goodness of a harem, the whole trope and idea of guy in a all girls school. It's not, it's something that it's okay. Yeah, I can see how that's possible, but it happened, and just let it ride. You know. Also begin to wonder, right? This is one of the things I've also noticed. In this chapter, right? The protagonist are and the rest of the heroines in that the timeline are already in their second year, right? Kind of the first years roll in, right? New romantic interests are um added to the story, but you wouldn't see a guy. You wouldn't see a guy. There's no guy who who enrolled in the school, which is another insane thing. I mean, the programs, business, cooking, fashion, they are all pretty good. I mean, for whatever reason, probably because they thought that, you still have the impression that the school is full of bad apples, quote unquote bad apples and the like. But man, it's still good. I like it. Speaking of like, I should also probably mention, fam, the art style of this series. This art style is heavenly. I absolutely love it. It's so thick. That's what I can say about it. It's good thick. That is, the character designs are drawn so beautifully. I love it. I love it. Oh my god, this again, a mix of that goodness in art style complemented goodness of art style with the story. I salute to that. I salute to that. Hats off to the illustrator and the author. This as well. So there's that. What else can I talk about? Um, Personally, my favorite character to win is of course Hanako, the main heroine. One of the main heroines rather, Hanako, the delinquent in the story. She is, I guess I can describe her. She's tall. She's tall and she does martial arts. She's good in fighting and the like, hence why people are wary of her. And blonde hair, long hair, blonde, and she has that really unique style as well, where it's like she has bangs that circle around her eye or something like that. I can't really describe it well, but you get what I mean if you take a look at the manga for yourself. Hmm. But yeah, maybe I should continue this on another stream, or if I make a proper Tell Me Rindo on this. But actually, I think I already placed out all my points as well. That's why I like protagonists, the heroines. The heroines, protagonist is good. He's just doing his own thing, and yet he's still aware of the situation around him. Heroines, good white character designs, good developments as well within them. They change after meeting the protagonist. Of course, that's a done deal. That's one of the things that you consider in a harem as well. That the interaction between the protagonist and heroine changes their perception of some whatever thing that they have going on. And everyone is just happy. Everyone is just really chill about it. And as well, I forgot to mention this. Good thing I was suddenly reminded. The heroines are all aware as well of their feelings, like their own feelings, and they also know that this girl is in love with the protagonist, and they're all friends, right? It's not like you know they're like in separate groups or something like that. The feel that I get from the social group, the social formation of the heroines, it's like data life. It's like a family, like Hyakuno. There we go. It's like a family in which they are aware of who they like. They all they all became friends because they really share a love as well for the protagonist, but also they hang out with each other because it's fun. Get to learn new things about people and really expand the boundaries of their friendships to more characters who would, I assume, would come in the future. So yeah, there's that. Um. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to share with you. And yeah, this took quite some time. Yeah, is it around 40 minutes? Oh, there we go, 40 minutes or so. And yeah, I guess that's all I. Imaginary chat. Thanks for sticking around. And yeah, take care. I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye, fam.